Oi, oi! Day one will probably still be running by the time you're watching this, or unless day one's finished and you're watching it after, then hope you did all right at day one. I'm giving you all my bets for day two here. We're getting stuck into one in the first race. Won't be any surprise which that horse is. But please do just make sure you like the video. That helps me out. Make sure you're commenting below with what you fancy. I appreciate your guys' support and interaction. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the channel because, again, helps me out. Jerry Colombe is the big bet for day two. I think it's a fairly obvious one. And I say I think it's a fairly obvious one because a lot of us are all driven by price. We're all driven by form. But Jerry Colombe's the only horse that's run in excess of 160s in terms of Racing Post ratings. He is the best horse in the race. Finished in front of Bron at Cheltenham. I know we can say there wasn't much in between there. And then Bron being a year younger might be able to progress past all these bits and pieces. But I don't think Davey would have covered himself in glory with that ride on Jerry Colombe. And I think it'd be much easier at Aintree. There's no Sam Twiston-Davies forcing the issue from the front and riding like an absolute maniac, which I love in him doing that. I just think he's a solid bet. Did the video with Daryl, was hoping to get some odds against. I've bitten the bullet now and I've just had 180 quid on him at 1.95. So the return in total is £170.32. Well, that's profit. £350 of return. So it's shy of even money. I don't know whether I'll go in again because lots of people do like to lay Jerry Colombe, so maybe we'll get some odds against, but I'll see. I make him a 2s on poke, so I think he wins. I will say that Gallia Delito, Harry Skelton's horse, does need a bog, right? But if you take that Warwick run where she was quite good, didn't jump the best, add her £7 allowance onto her 153 Racing Post rating, like she isn't that far off maybe being next best, and it is a flatter track which will probably suit her. But Jerry, bar incident, is going to absolutely bolt up. And as much as I've mentioned Gallia Delito, I'm not having a saver on there. Second race, again, talked about this within Daryl. Camprond, I think he's £5 up from what he did at Cheltenham. He bounced on to go and win at Punchestown last season after running well at Cheltenham. I think he's a solid enough price. I've had 25 quid on him at 7.6. He's a little bit big on the exchange now. You probably get 8 or you might get bigger. I'm happy enough with him. Darginini for Harry Derham. Used to be trained by Paul Nicholls. Obviously, that's who Harry Derham worked for. Last couple of runs of him, I've been pretty impressed with his. This is a much harder race, but he could be on a bit of an upward curve. I think he's an okay price, probably not massive. So I haven't yet, but I will have a small saver on him. He's 11 on the exchange at the moment, so in and around 10 to 1. Might have a little poke on him. Might stick on an each way double, but it'll be a small saver. I've only had 25, but I've backed Camprond in the second. As it stands, I've backed Lucia for 20 quid. She's 5.3 on the exchange. I backed her at 5.2. I wonder if I might get a bit bigger. She's a mare that people seem to like to lay. I like her in the top novice, to be honest with you. I think she's a good enough price. Found a 50s form. Think's okay. Corbett's Cross obviously went around really well, but ran really well in a 3-mile race, not the 2-mile. And then Parmenon, however we're going to say it, gone and got beat after. So I think he's okay, but I wouldn't say he's much better than the mark that he's got, 147. In the pocket, Henry de Bromhead thinks he's a 2-mile. I think he's a mid-trip horse. Henry would know better than I do, but these are the reasons why I think Lucia is a bit of a price. She did disappoint at Cheltenham, but I don't think she would have been 100%. Like, they were proper trying to get her on the exchanges beforehand. She missed the race, didn't she, because of an illness. I reckon she's got a chance. I'm happy to give her another go. And then no looking back for Oliver McKernan is the sort of saver in the race. I think he's a big price. Darrow again put me onto him. I think the form looks all right. Hasn't got a UK rating, but if he did, it would probably be in the 140s. And if it was 140s on the form, then people would probably be getting in. The 330 is the Mellion Chase. I like Hitman. I've had 30 quid on him at 6.6. I might have been able to get a bit bigger, to be honest with you. He's 6.6 to back now and 7.6 to lay. But I'm happy enough where I am. Wanted to get the bets on, mostly for doing the video, and also the tiny bits of value I'm not so fussed about. He was second in the race last year. He's recorded a Racing Post rating £6 higher than he did in the race before coming here last year. Fakadouj isn't the same horse anymore, and I know I've poo-pooed him saying he's not really a proper grade 1 horse, but he's a very good horse. Hitman's just as good as him this year as far as I'm concerned, if not better. So I like Hitman. And Pickdory, he was so bad in the Novices Chase last year. I can't forgive him that. Harry Cobden is picking Pickdory, but then he picked the wrong horse last year. He didn't go for Hitman. I think Hitman wins. I do think Pickdory is probably the biggest danger. I think Fakadouj can obviously go well as well, but I'm happy to trust that Hitman's okay. He might just be one of those horses. It's a second horse or a nearly horse, but I think he'll travel well in the race. I'm not going to do it, but I think he gives you the opportunity to either bet a little bit scummy each way, there's only a couple of places up the grabs, or maybe back to lay in running. I'd be tempted to think about place lay and Fakir as well, because the 2 places up the grabs, but I'm not doing that. Haven't done that yet. In the 405, I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do in it, because it's a tricky race, right? The one that the 2 that I want to back is Batsio for Ted Walsh, second in the race last year. Comeback run would have definitely needed it. It was running against Backerson. It's fine to be outpaced against a horse like that. I do also like Kilteely Briggs. He's a mega price, like 40s on the machine. it'd be a bit of a win dart poke on there, just hope for the best. You will get extended places though, so I'm sure people will want to do that. Betfair got up to 10 places on those markets. Whether there's any liquidity or not is a different story. And Houghton Coolio, Paul Tanner just keeps riding him, doesn't he? So I think that, I don't think he'll win off top weight. 1995 the last time a top weight's won the top, but he's semi-interesting. 440 is the 3 mile grade 1 novices hurdle. Stay away, Faye will be getting a few quid of my money. Don't think Absolute Notions is that good, and I also want to say it out loud. Absolute no chance. I think Stay Away Faye's pretty good. It's one of those that he should be a bit shorter if there was confidence behind him. He's 5.1 on the machine. Feel like I'll get 4 to 192. I'm going to have 30 quid on it for the sake of it. I say for the sake of it, but to have a bet. I'm also going to have a little bit of a saver on Mufasa. He is entered in this and he has been declared for Saturday. He's 65 on the machine at the moment, and I think that's just a stupidly mega price. On the lay side, which kind of gives you a clue whether people are interested or whether they're definitely going to run or not, he's 980. So there's not much interest in this horse, but I'll have a little couple of quid on Mofasa because I think the step up and trip could suit him. 2 runs at Cheltenham, we've run over the middle trip. I think we're okay, and he might be another one of those that I come back. I should better get myself out of it. Like if he's 65 or 100 before the race, he ain't gonna be that in running. So I'll have a small go on that. And then the last race, plenty of people have already been talking about him. JPR1, I've had a bit on him. I've actually done him in an each way double with Campron as well. I've done a £12.50 each way double. But JPR1, I've had 25 quid on the nose on him at 10 to 1. And then I've also had a saver on Go Dante, Jamie Cos riding for Ollie Murphy. Got cheap pieces on there. I think like he's turned a bit of a corner. They always thought he was good, didn't they? They entered him in the grade 2. Bumper, he didn't run, and then they ran him in the shallow. So they are my bets for day 2. Please be lucky. Please make sure you've liked the video. Comment below if there's anything you fancy or you disagree with, and make sure you subscribe to the channel.